Haven't turned off brain, you might be wondering, huh? The hell just happened? Why are Wong and Abomination associates? How did they even meet each other if Abomination's been incarcerated for over a decade and a half? You're telling me Wong just decided one day to pay him a visit in his cell? Why the hell does Wong think it's a good idea to illegally bring what is essentially evil Hulk to a public space for fucking cage fights? Are there really no cameras in his cell that would catch this and inevitably make Wong a criminal?
It is of no concern.
I really like this video, but some of the things you point out seem to be nitpicking for the sake of it, like the Wong stuff in the Macau portion of the video. You ask why Abomination and Wong are even associated and how Abomination even got out of his cell. Isn't that kind of the point? There's missing information in that scene that's obviously supposed to set up another story. I would compare it to nitpicking about how Nick Fury knows about Carol Danvers before even watching Captain Marvel.
Oh dear, perhaps I should have made myself more clear. Asking these questions was partially an attempt to portray how there cannot possibly be justifiable answers to them. There could be answers, just very stupid ones that damage the characters involved. Yes, I was that confident when writing the Shang-Chi video from simply looking at the situation these two put themselves in on a surface level. And now we have She-Hulk, episodes 3 and 4 to answer these questions. And spoiler alert, I was right. Before getting into it though, I can address a couple things from this comment off the bat. First, I never questioned how Abomination got out. I literally said it's implied Wong decided to pay him a visit while showing Wong walking through a portal, meaning Abomination got out via portal. Second, comparing these two having a partnership to Nick Fury knowing Captain Marvel before her movie is a false equivalence. We knew nothing about Captain Marvel other than she would be an addition to the roster of heroes. Nick Fury calling another hero to help defeat Thanos is completely in character. Last time we saw Abomination, he wrecked Harlem and nearly killed Bruce Banner with no remorse. He's a straight-up villain capable of death and destruction on a large scale. Wong, the Sorcerer Supreme who values rules, life, and the safety of the world, is not in character when he breaks Abomination out of prison to bring him to a confined area full of people for what seems to be for sport and his pride.
That hurt, Ennio. Maybe you'll start controlling those punches like we practiced.
I hope it's clear now why questioning their connection is not a nitpick and not at all comparable to two heroes knowing each other, so scratch that one off too. Now let's get into She-Hulk episode 3 with some pals and see what unfolds to answer the remaining questions.
So the legal case is about what happened in Shang-Chi. Does it have anything to do with what happened in The Incredible Hulk?
Yep.
In Harlem?
So it's originally the parole thing is about the events of Incredible Hulk.
So I guess he was about to go out on parole, but because he was being taken out to fight in the underground fighting ring in Macau.
He was about to face the parole board
Right.
with her to represent, and then the news broke out of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a fucking idiot, he accepted to fight Wong.
You want to explain to me why you failed to mention that you not only escaped from prison, but you were also recorded doing so? You said to my face that you never turned into the Abomination anymore.
Stop. Fucking hell, not even 5 minutes in and we have confirmation there's a nonsensical answer to one of the questions. These bumbling buffoons over at the vault needed someone from the Golden Daggers Club to leak this footage for them to find out Abomination's been sneaking out, meaning there are no security cameras in his cell to catch this the moment it first happened, and Jennifer has the gall to call it an insanely high-security prison.
Who forced you to escape this insanely high-security prison undetected?
You serious?
No, because I was forced to leave my cell, but I returned of my own free will.
So Wong opened a portal under him, is what he's saying.
A sorcerer supreme of the mystic arts, and his name is
Wong, just Wong.
Damn it. I was hoping we'd find out his last name in the show.
Oh, hey, Nerdrotic cameo, nice.
Oh, yo!
I extracted him from the prison against his own wishes, because I required a worthy opponent as part of my training to become Sorcerer Supreme.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Yep, he required a worthy opponent.
You can conjure up like beasts. Strange did that in Multiverse of Madness.
Indeed.
How is
They can
Abomination
literally
a worthy
travel. They can literally travel anywhere in the multiverse to fight beings from other dimensions, and he fucking needs Abomination.
Go to the forest and fight him. Why do you have to do it in front of a crowd of innocent people?
No.
Why does he need to fight a fucking hole?
Why does he need to fight anyone?
Because it's a worthy opponent, apparently.
Yeah.
So that battle can be legendary.
He
Yeah.
literally went against a brute in Infinity War.
Yeah, he doesn't have to fight another experienced sorcerer. He has to fight a giant strong man.
Of course.
Because he totally won't overpower them.
Hang on a minute, did they forget Doctor Strange said this in No Way Home?
Wait, I thought you were the Sorcerer Supreme.
No, he got it on a technicality because I blipped for 5 years.
A technicality implies that Wong became Sorcerer Supreme by default because Strange died, meaning no training nor test was required for this title transfer according to No Way Home. Otherwise, Strange would have phrased this very differently. Or Wong would have told Peter he actually worked for the title given how much he took pride in it and that Strange is downplaying how difficult it was to obtain it. But according to She-Hulk, he needed to train with a worthy opponent to become it. I like how we have to specify which movie or show's rules we're referring to since continuity is out the window. Just like how according to this show, Wong was training during Shang-Chi to become Sorcerer Supreme. Shang-Chi takes place many months after Endgame. Doctor Strange was back that whole time, meaning the Sorcerer Supreme title wasn't reinstated under his name once he returned.
What?
And it's not like he was out of practice for 5 years. The people who were blipped never felt like they left, so Strange would have been at the top of his game upon returning and therefore should have immediately regained the title. And why the hell did Wong take over 5 years to begin training for the title? For all we know, he started training for it once Strange was back.
Dick move.
And if you're going to tell me Wong's been training throughout the entire 5 years, that just brings up the question of why didn't Strange have to train this long? He seemingly became Sorcerer Supreme right after his first movie.
You'll wear the Eye of Agamotto. Once you've mastered its powers.
Word of the Ancient One's death will spread through the multiverse. Earth has no Sorcerer Supreme to defend it.
It's the duty of the Sorcerer Supreme to protect the Time Stone.
Alright, let's just take all of this bullshit as it is. There was simply no Sorcerer Supreme for 5 years. The title was never given back to Strange, and Wong just didn't start training until recently. If these fighting sessions are done as part of Wong's training, then why does he talk to Abomination like he's his coach?
Maybe you'll start controlling those punches like we practiced.
Sounds like this training isn't for you, Wong, and sounds like Abomination isn't exactly a worthy opponent if you have to train him how to fight you. Plus, shouldn't the Sorcerer Supreme be prepared to fend off beings that don't control their punches? The real deal isn't gonna hold back for you, Wong.
That hurt!
Gonna cry?
Shouldn't one prove themselves worthy of being Sorcerer Supreme by fighting mystical beings and not someone the Avengers could take care of?
Well, heroes like the Avengers protect the world from physical dangers. We sorcerers safeguarded against more mystical threats.
What I think happened is the writers from this masterpiece and this show didn't communicate with each other on where exactly these characters were going. Nah, that couldn't possibly be it. Also, Abomination never told anyone at the vault he was being forced to leave multiple times, which would have majorly helped him with the possibility of parole, nor did he refuse to fight Wong, but whatever, I guess he doesn't give a shit about his freedom. And now, since Wong doesn't give a reason why he chose a populated area to train himself, here's a list of locations that are more private and are infinitely safer to fight a giant rage monster. Now think of the hundreds, if not thousands, of these types of locations there are across the globe/universe. Wong chose the Golden Daggers Club over them.
You're an insane, degenerate piece of filth, and you deserve to die.
Not erasing everyone's memories, not again.
That's not what I was thinking. That is highly unethical.
Yeah, it's also very messy, believe me.
What the fuck is this line? Why does Wong think that Jennifer would think memory erasure is something he can do? There's no precedent for this besides what happened in No Way Home. And even then, nobody was aware it happened. Unless Strange and Wong decided to tell the entire world they erased their memories of Spider-Man's identity. Is this line meant for the audience as a little Easter egg, I wonder?
Maybe. And as Sorcerer Supreme, I insist that he not be punished for my actions.
12 seconds later.
We'll send him to the mirror dimension.
I don't know what that is, but no.
Shadow dimension? I insist that he not be punished for my actions. Shadow dimension?
Wong thinks locking someone in the shadow dimension is better for them than locking them in a normal prison.
I have changed emotionally, physically, metaphysically, spiritually, karmically, cosmically, interdimensionally,
etc.
This is a comedy, that's why this dialogue is the way it is.
She-Hulk is good.
Yeah, Matt Vicky, you can't wait for Matt Murdock, Daredevil himself, to show up in this comedy. It's gonna be great.
This is the only part of the show that I'm watching, so I don't have to worry about that.
Oh, hey, there he is.
You realize that you've just admitted to facilitating a prisoner escape, which is a crime.
But his heart was in the right place, Your Honor.
I must depart.
What? You're just gonna let him? Okay. He's just gonna fuck off.
What?
Sure, Wong.
But you see, him leaving and nobody doing anything about it is funny, and this is a comedy.
Oh yeah, it's true, it is a comedy.
Yeah, he's just actually added to his crimes.
So yeah, he just leaves. Someone who I thought was about following rules unless the fate of the universe depended on it, and there are no other options, just says fuck off to the law, the consent of another person, and the blatantly better options, because he wanted a title. Rules and actions contradict what was previously established. This is the story that scene from Shang-Chi was obviously setting up. And what an amazing story it was. We definitely would have been worse off without it.
Is that it? Are we
I'm pretty sure that's
we have like
all
a
the
fourth
Wong
of
stuff.
the episode.
Well, it's like 5 minutes left only, or like 4, because the credits in these Disney Plus shows take like 300 years to finish.
After reviewing his record, we hereby grant Mr. Blonsky's release on parole, effective immediately.
Okay, what are you gonna do about Wong?
Alright.
Wong he's off somewhere.
Should we wait for the next episode? Is that really everything they explored regarding Abomination and Wong?
I'm glad you asked, past me, because yup, that's all there is. And I'm sure by this point, all of you with a basic grasp on cause and effect are saying, welp, that's the last we'll see of Wong in this show, since he's a wanted man and all. If he shows up around any of these characters again, he's just gonna be hunted to the ends of the earth.
Miss Walters, our legal situation of the greatest importance.
Nice to see you again, Wong. How can I help you?
Also, there's a lot of very smart editing. I must depart, and then Wong leaves. Wonderful. Quick, silly, and we move on. And if anyone wonders, why is Wong able to go to court next week? I don't know, the president pardoned him because he's the Sorcerer Supreme, and he basically has diplomatic immunity. Also, he's Wong. We all love Wong. Also, maybe he made them all forget with this spell.
Nando, this being quick, silly, and immediately moving on is precisely the issue. Wong should be a fugitive after episode 3. He fucking admits he wasn't even gonna bring Abomination back to prison.
But it was absolutely his choice to return. I offered him asylum at Kamatage, but he was quite adamant he'd be returned to serve out his sentence.
Being the Sorcerer Supreme wouldn't mean shit to the president. Wong isn't even an official member of the Avengers. The fuck do you mean he has diplomatic immunity? We all love Wong? Are you seriously using a meta reason for why in-universe authorities don't care about him breaking the law? And speak for yourself, pal. This show and his recent appearances are exactly what made me hate Wong. He's just another inconsistent idiot who doesn't care about critical matters. Sounds like you kinda forgot how Wong is anti-memory erasure, and he even says he'll never use it again in this very episode. And if Wong did use the memory erase spell to make the parole board forget about him, this means Abomination is going right back to prison, because Wong's testimony is literally what allows him to be freed. And you're opening more holes in Multiverse of Madness, because if your headcanon dictates Wong is actually okay with using the spell, then it absolutely should have been used to make Wanda forget. You are telling me that he will use the spell to avoid getting arrested when he can easily do that with portals, but not when the entire multiverse is at stake. Please tell me this section of your video is one big joke, mate, because this is really embarrassing. At least you're consistent with how terrible your defenses are since I last heard some of them.
But maybe Wenwu is just a bad listener. I don't know.
Shut up!
Previously on She-Hulk.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
I think that's so funny because it just reminded me how many here have seen like the US Office. I know, cringe.
I've seen all of The Office, yeah.
Okay. There's where Michael Scott goes to his like
he starts doing like the
improv
gun thing.
Yeah, I
it's
remember
the
that episode, yeah.
And he like talks to the camera and he's like, what do you do when like a scene is too boring or you don't know what to do? Just throw in like random fucking action, like someone pulls out a gun.
Boom! Detective Michael Scott! I'm with the FBI! Think about this. What is the most exciting thing that can happen on TV or in movies or in real life? Somebody has a gun.
The courtroom scene in that preview reminded me because it's like they admitted they don't know how to write a enthralling courtroom scene, so fuck it, just have someone blast through the wall like the Kool-Aid man.